there's nothing that the universe itself has done that says today is the actual day that we change this arbitrary measurement of.
Yeah. But because we say we're the creators of our life, so it's good to, define something and
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
go by it, or it's just crazy.
Yeah, well, I know for you and for me too, this year uh, has been quite unlike any other, for sure.
Yes, it's been a year, an interesting year. I think a
Yeah.
great year. I would say
Yeah.
for me, it has been a great year.
Mhm.
A great of,
Me too.
where the status quo moved, where I would say
I
we
like
did
that. It's the
the,
status
the
quo
status
moved.
quo
Yeah.
moved. We did big leaps
Yes.
of faith,
Yeah.
of courage, of
Yeah.
um, already saying no to the status quo for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. So you're celebrating tonight. You're celebrating at home, right?
I am celebrating home. I have an invitation. A French friend I told you is having like 30
Uh-huh.
people.
Oh, that's right. That's right. There was a big
Yes,
party.
but I'm not
You
going
opting for
just
the.
because it's logistic wise, it's hard for my kids, especially
Yeah.
my little one. So
Yeah.
I decided I just throw a party and I have 12 people coming, which is great. And we're going to celebrate. It's game night, so we're gonna
And
do
did
our
you say
thing.
you were going to go around and everybody's going to share a sentence or something about?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's yeah, I said I was going to share about that. So everybody's going, it's three questions,
Okay.
just as really reflection
Hmm.
of how your year has been. Hold on, I'm going to try to retrieve it. But how about like while I'm doing that, what you send me you worked on your business plan for next year.
Yep.
So
Yep.
what changed? Did you have a business plan last year?
Not really. No, I didn't. I
Okay,
didn't have
so this
anything
is
written
new for
down. I
you.
had ideas in my head, and so this is actually a 4-page. I think of it as a 4-page story
Okay,
that
okay,
I've written. I'm writing the story of how next year's going to go,
okay,
and so yeah, and I don't typically. I'll write things, but maybe not typically in that detail about that one aspect of my life. It's more like,
okay,
well, I'm practicing is going to learn this. I'm going to do, blah, blah, blah. I have all sorts of scattered ideas, but not one just regarding my business.
okay.
Yeah.
So is it so it's new for you to have like a business plan like that? It's also because it's a completely new kind of work for you.
Not really. I could have done it I could have and quote unquote should have done it, in previous years with my guitar teaching business.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that would have been a smart move, but I didn't. It was just like, well, it's going to go the way it's going to go, and I'm going to do good work, and I'm going to get referrals, and it's going to all work out the way it should. So it wasn't
It's to have a
me
plan.
writing a story about, well, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm uh, implementing in my life. These are the procedures I'm following to, not to like a very granular level, but on the higher level. Like if you saw, I don't know if you read through it, the deliverables, for
Not yet,
example.
yeah, but I take the time to do that. So
Yeah.
it means that you have a plan. You
Yes.
you have something to work towards, and you know that I like to take that analogy. Like you go, you put an address on your GPS,
Yes.
so
Exactly.
you're driving towards something.
Mhm.
Because if you don't
Exactly.
have an address, you're just driving aimlessly, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
I think it's a great thing that you've done,
Yeah.
and I think
It's
everyone should do it.
that's right. Everybody should have some sort of I I held I went back and I revised it, and the original intention was 3 pages or less. I got it to 4 pages, and then I decided, well, I'm gonna keep it at 4 pages because I like some of the language in it. Although I could leave it out and just have bullet points, and maybe I'll do that. But the first intention of it is like you have something like that, like you're talking about a GPS. You have something so one of my things is like every business day, that's the first thing I review is this is my business plan. This is how I'm operating in the world. And then from there, I review it. And so if it were shorter, maybe it's easier to review, but maybe not. 4 pages is not that.
Yeah, I
That's
think it's
not that
not
bad.
really about the number of pages. It's about the
Yeah.
content. What's in there? Does it speak to you? Does it speak to you? Does it make you want to take action?
Yeah.
If it's just beautiful words,
Yeah.
it remains beautiful words, but it has a meaning and it pushes
Yeah.
you to action.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you the big thing in there that's sort of the key element for me that's different than the way I normally approach things is I wake up. I have like a morning routine that I follow, and it involves, saying my document and saying my affirmations and reading some personal development and making sure I get some exercise in and all this other stuff and musical practice. So everything except the affirmations and the reciting of my document that I would do in the first 20 minutes of waking up. Everything else is pushed after I concentrate on business building activities, mainly setting up the infrastructure to have meetings with people. So that's like my business is like I um, do the affirmations. I take a shower, I get dressed into business attire, and I sit down and I do it for 2 or 3 hours in terms of building the infrastructure that allows me to have conversations with lots of people.
Yeah, like what I'm hearing is that you get up, you feel yourself, and then you go to work, basically.
Right.
Uh,
Or not.
or
Sometimes
not, but you
or
go to,
not.
like, when you are like, that's the challenge. We don't consider, when we were at home, we consider that we have flexibility,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's important to have office hours, as you said, because if
Yes.
it's a job, you will go get there at a certain time, and then you will log in and
Right.
then do the action. So why wouldn't you do it while you're at home? So I
Yeah,
like that
exactly.
you
Exactly.
have made it like clear that you get up, you take care of yourself, and then you sit down and you do what you're supposed to do,
Yeah,
who you
yeah.
say you
I
are.
implement that. I implement
Yeah.
that immediately as my way of being, and that's not to say I can't do the other stuff, and I will do the other stuff, but it's pushed till later on in the day. So I
Yeah,
make
you
this
decide. You decide
the
what you do.
important part. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, I think everybody should do that. And if we haven't been doing that, it's about time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
glad that you're doing it. Steve was saying, what does a musician does? A
Right.
musician sing, does music.
Yep. Yep.
So you need to be in conversation with people, and you
Right.
need to be
Exactly.
connecting with people to be who you say you are. Because I think the hardest thing when you work for yourself is your tendency to maybe I forgot my idea, but consider that you don't take yourself seriously
Right.
sometimes,
Right.
or you think that some things are optional, or you distract yourself. And I
Right.
know for my part that I love to consume information.
Yes, yes. You and I. That's. I think that's one of the ways we connected initially. Is like we both
Yes, so
are
consuming is
big.
good,
Yeah,
but
we
taking
love
action.
to. Yeah,
Consuming is good, but we have to take action. I do
that's right.
take action
That's right.
now. I take several actions. I think the next step for me, and this year I'm really trying to do that, is to focus on the one thing.
Mm, mm.
There is this book here, The One Thing, up, that is very, very good. So I think I'm going to read it again. The surprisingly simple truth behind extraordinary results. The One Thing.
Well, yeah, I've read that, but it's been a
I
while
think
since
it's very
that's a
good
good one.
because um, I do, I'm passionate. I do a lot of things.
Yeah,
And sometimes
yeah,
I do
me
so
too.
many things that I'm like, okay, what is it that I'm
Yeah,
doing? And
yeah,
so I think I have to choose my one thing, my one
that's right.
extraordinary goal,
Yeah,
and do that first. Do
yeah,
that first.
yeah.
Focus
That's
most
so
of my time on that.
that's my motivation for putting it first. Is like, well, that will be the one.
That's your one thing.
That's the one. The one thing is I'm scheduling time. Steve Chandler said, what you want to be doing, and this applies to any business really, but as a coach, you want to be able to, if I look at your calendar, I can tell. It's like how many
You're a coach or not.
conversations do you have booked, right? And if there are no conversations, have you booked time to book conversations, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So you just make that like the most important thing you do. And actually, Grant Cardone said this as well. He's talking in, I forget what book by him, but he's talking about a sales guy who would always have lunch with another sales guy. So they do their prospecting and whatever, and then they meet for lunch together. And he's like, "Well, no, you don't want to do that because this guy is never going to be your customer."
oh,
Right,
so you need to go
right.
and have lunch
So
with
you need to have lunch with customers. You need to have conversations with people who
yeah,
are
but on
business.
where I don't agree with that is that's an agenda, right?
Mhm.
And when you're a salesperson, you're selling something.
Yeah.
But in our position, in my position, I'm more of a coach and more of service. So we are serving people without how to say it. If they want to hire us
Well, yeah, we
later
serve them
because
if
we
they want to
serve
hire
them,
us or not.
great,
It doesn't matter. Yeah,
But
it doesn't
I
matter.
think like for me, the first motivation is to connect with people, is to be in
Mhm.
conversation with people, and then in French we did advienne que pourra, comme what may.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But the first intention is to serve, to be in.
But what I'm saying is like you have lunch with the same people every day, right? It's
That wouldn't be fun because there are
yeah,
other people to serve.
yeah. There's other people all
Yeah.
around.
So yeah. So
Steve Hardison says, "What a way to end the year." Just loving you both. Happy New Year, you two. Hey, Steve. Thank you so much. Thanks for.
loving you.
You're a big part of what's made this year so miraculous for me, for sure. Your example has been a big part of that.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm gonna have steak tonight. I don't
You're
know.
gonna have steak?
I'm gonna have steak tonight. Yeah, to
That's good
celebrate
to
it.
celebrate the new year. So is it your favorite? You're happy saying that. Do you like steak?
I like to eat beef. I enjoy beef.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, just because I'm like I would just to know why is it that you're happy about eating that? Does it mean that you really like it and you don't eat it often?
I do eat it fairly often, actually.
Okay.
So, and every time I eat it, I'm happy.
Okay. So because you really like it, of course,
Yeah,
when you eat, like when I eat cheese, I'm happy I eat cheese every
yeah, yeah.
often.
Cheese is good too. So do you have did you find your questions? Because I was
So
curious.
it's yeah, actually it's three things to celebrate your your wins from the past year. What are
Okay.
you
Okay.
celebrating? What happened this year? At
Okay.
least one thing that you are celebrating. You say thank you to 2022.
Okay.
And
Do you want to share yours or
oh,
one of
me,
yours?
my
One of yours?
wins.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do have so many, and I think
Yeah.
I've shared them along the way.
Sure, but if you had to pull one out of the hat right now,
Celebrate my wins. Oh, like for me, it's more of my, my freedom, in the sense that I was very, people pleasing, and I'm not
Mm.
anymore.
Oh yeah,
So
that's really good. That's really good.
yeah, so like the daring, I dared this year. I dared greatly. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
happy for
yeah.
that.
I love that.
So, and celebrate your regrets and mistakes. Some of the
Yeah,
things that
yeah.
there is one thing that I'm not sure about, so I have to give more thought to it. Something that I invested time and money, and I mean, I definitely grew from it because,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
but if I had to do it again, I don't know if I will do it the same way. So
Right.
I think
Yeah.
so. It's not a mistake. It's not a regret, but if I had to do it differently, but I'm not going to dwell there. I'm not going to stay there.
Yeah, that's
I'm just
good.
going to go ahead. So that's the danger with this question. It's like to be, I should have. No, we don't live in regrets or mistakes,
Yeah.
but it's good to
Yeah.
see, okay, there are some decisions maybe that will need more time and more thoughts before being taken. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
So maybe you could rephrase that and just say, instead of what's your biggest regret or whatever, just say, what was
is there something you would
the
have
biggest
done
learning? What
differently?
was the biggest learning experience you had?
What did you learn from? Something
Yeah,
you would do
yeah,
differently, but
yeah.
what did you learn the most from?
Yeah.
And so what are you going to be celebrating next year, this same time?
Oh, yeah, that's good.
What are you
Can
going
you
to
tell me
do?
one of those?
What
Yeah.
am I going to be
I
celebrating?
have one that I shared it in
I like
Toastmasters.
my house, buying my own house. So
Ooh,
that's
I
going to be
love
my
that.
big
Yeah,
celebration
that's gonna be
next year.
amazing. So I guess mine doesn't, well, maybe. But no, I said in Toastmasters in our meeting on Thursday, which we did, we went ahead with, even though there were 15 people there because of the snow and everything. So we had an extra long table topics because we had plenty of time. So I stated my intention that I was going to weigh 160 pounds. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get there so on December 31st of 2023, I'll be celebrating that. It may happen even before that. Yeah. So that's a concrete goal, I suppose.
Wow, that's great. Yeah. So I like that. Um, so yeah, I'm going to have those questions, and then everybody can share. And it's just a game night, so board games. So that's fun.
Yeah, that's really cool. And we asked about this yesterday, but you're going to stay up until midnight. I
We
may.
do. I always stay up till midnight and December 31st. I can sleep a little before, like 10 minutes and then get up. And yeah,
Mhm,
we
mhm.
always, we look at we don't have TV, but we find a way to look at the board dropping
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like
uh,
on YouTube or
in
something.
New
But I
York.
will.
Yes.
I think I'll be up by 10, so I'll text you a Happy New Year's.
Oh yeah, I'll be 2 years before you. That's so
Well,
true.
not two
Two
years.
years, 2 hours
Oh,
in India and in Australia, and are there already?
oh, it's already over. They have
It's
already.
already, yes.
Yeah,
And then in France, it's gonna be at 6 p.m. It's gonna be
yeah,
like 4
yeah,
p.m. by you. So it's fun.
yeah. So you just let them roll every time zone to celebrate the new year, just like you could in any moment of any day, right?
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Like, so
So
I'm gonna read it. Steve left another comment for us. So this is beautiful. So I want to share this. So he says, "Thank you for life itself.
oh,
I love breathing, eating, sleeping, hearing, seeing, excuse me, feeling, laughing, loving, and learning. What a fabulous year! Rinse
I
and
love it.
yeah,
Yes.
rinse and repeat.
Oh.
So I'm not sure what SG means. I don't know, Steve, if you're still on. Do you know what SG means?
SG,
SG, yeah, yeah, capital S, capital G.
capital S, capital
So
G,
yeah, so good, I guess. So
maybe.
I don't know. So anyway, that's great. And the thing is, you can thank whoever or whatever you want in every moment for all of these things, right?
Oh yeah,
You can
like
be
first,
thankful in every moment.
as we say, like this the fact that we were up this morning, for life, for breathing,
Mhm,
we take it for
mhm,
granted, but
mhm.
that's there is nothing, I mean, we wouldn't be here if we weren't breathing. So
Right,
that's the first,
right.
that's the thing we take for granted.
Yeah,
And yeah, for continuing to grow, to learn, to have, the
yeah,
opportunity to keep on creating. So
yeah. Today's the best day, and the best is coming. So,
exactly. So yeah, so
all right. Well, we'll leave it
2022,
there. Yeah,
the
20
end.
sayonara, as they say.
Sayonara, yes,
2022.
2022, the end.
He confirmed it. So good. SG means so good.
So
Yeah.
good.
So
I
good.
love
Yeah.
it.
All right, everybody. We will see
Loving you,
you later.
Steve. Loving you all. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Bye.
All right. Yeah.